Partners in Ministry, a presentation of Josiah White's Quakerdale Foundation, dedicated to growing ministry support networks, introducing people to a cause that connects with their heart, bringing hope and encouragement to our communities as we seek together to serve as Christ serves.
Welcome to Partners in Ministry. My name is Dan Smith, and today I'll be talking with Ray Chobanian, owner and founder of Prestige Digital Marketing. Prestige Digital Marketing is one of our ministry partners. Ray handles the production and graphic design work for all of our videos. He is also a social media consultant. In this interview, we're going to discuss the importance of an effective social media strategy as a part of a nonprofit's communication plan. Welcome, Ray, and thank you for joining me.
Hey, Dan, thanks for having me today. It's great to be here.
Social media is one of many tools that are available for a nonprofit in their communication plans. But unfortunately, the average nonprofit likely doesn't have, one, the manpower to pull it off, or two, the skill set to make it function effectively. So give us some help here. As a nonprofit, why is an effective social media strategy important?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Dan. Let me start off with a slide here, just to kind of paint the picture and give you guys some stats, some real life stats for that. So I'm going to share my screen. All right, you should be able to see this now. So yep. This is very recent, from January this year, 2022. This information was collected then. So let's take a look in the top left corner. We'll start here. So we see there's 4.62 billion people using social media. And every quarter, this is growing by about 1.7%, or 77 million. And the year-on-year change is about 424 million. And each person spends an average of 2 hours and 27 minutes on social media each day. And they're using about 7.5 different platforms per month. And I think another stat, we don't have to go through all these, but the social media users versus total population is 58.4%. So that's a very large number of people that are on social media. So if you're, this is a really great channel to get your message, your brand, whatever you have out there. And, with that, there's a lot of competition too, because we're not the only ones trying to do this. So but those are some reasons, some very strong reasons why. So if you're not, you're kind of handicapping yourself. And I'll stop the share, but I think you get the idea that.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. I did not realize that was that high. 90% of the internet use is done on social media.
93.4%. Yes.
Wow. 93% of how many billion was that? So many?
4.62.
That's a big number.
Yeah, that's over half the world's population. Yeah,
that's a huge audience. So if we don't have some sort of a social media strategy as part of our communication plan, we are really missing an opportunity to communicate to a huge population, not only in the United States, but around the world is kind of what I'm getting at. Is that right?
That's correct. That's absolutely right, Dan. Yep. And if you think there's someone out there that doesn't want your message, well, you're probably wrong.
Well, there's a big difference between using social media and using it effectively. If I'm going to have an effective social media plan in place, what does it need to include and why?
Sure. So I got a few steps. First, you always want to define your business objective. Is it to grow the brand, drive leads and sales, customer retention, turn advocates and people into advocates? So you want to set that first. And then I have a few steps. I'll just read through them. So step one would be to choose the goals that align with your business objectives. Learn everything you can about your audience, because when you know who you're talking to, now you know what their likes and interests are and how to talk to them. Get to know your competition. That helps. So do a social media audit. So take a look at what you're currently doing, if anything, and what your current results are. set up accounts and improve profiles. So how we set up the account and the profile is very important. I think people overlook that step sometimes. And find inspiration. You want to be real. You just want to be inspired so that you can put out good content. Also, something people overlook is step 7, create a social media content calendar. So plan your content, plan when you're going to post for the month, the week, however you want to do it, but at least weekly, and create that compelling content. People don't want to see a zoomed up photo of your face and some text. You want it to be presentable and look good and something that you would want to see yourself. And then track your performance and adjust accordingly. So, a lot of it comes down to testing. Sometimes you don't know, so you want to test a little bit. You see what works, and then you go back and review that post and say, okay, well, what was it about this that people really engaged with? Why do I think? Read the comments. People a lot of times tell you, wow, great post. I really like the whatever it is. So that's all user input. That's valuable feedback that you can use to continue to put out great content that people want to engage with. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, it sounds like a lot. This sounds like there's a lot involved in it. I know, as your slide mentioned, that there are a lot of different platforms that are out there and the options. How many platforms should I be using, and which ones? How do I know how to select those?
Yeah. So okay, I would say you want to pick 2 or 3 and do them really well, because you don't want to spread yourself too thin. So the ones that stand out are Facebook, Instagram, and depending on your business, LinkedIn or Twitter. Twitter's probably a little more higher engagement than LinkedIn, but so you want to pick 2 or 3 that align. Instagram gets the most engagement. It's the king of engagement. And many people are on Facebook too. So especially business. So from here, you want to kind of develop a strategy to that as well. And again, if you're doing all of them, you're going to spread yourself thin unless you have the resources to hire a company or somebody or volunteer to do a lot of it for you. Then you can look at more, but I would say focus in on 2 to 3 max to start. Yep.
And I would assume that it's also really important to know what platforms your audience is using.
Absolutely. So I do have some more stats on that, but like I said, almost everyone's on Facebook, even businesses, especially businesses. And LinkedIn is huge for business. And Instagram is just the king of engagement. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with Facebook and Instagram. If you wanted to pick 2, I would say start there.
Okay. Yeah. Then I would suppose, depending on who your audience is and their age, you would need to consider something other than those 2. Like if it's, I imagine 20 and under, you're probably going to need to think about what's this one with, like a TikTok or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. TikTok is very good. I just heard there was a concrete company, right? Just to paint a picture for you, there's a concrete company that just closed a $100,000 contract off of a TikTok video that they posted. I thought that was pretty neat. Yeah, because we're living in a day and age now where a concrete company can post a video on TikTok and land a big contract. I mean, it's incredible.
Sure.
Yeah. It wasn't like that before.
Well, I can just see this all working out. I've got this good plan going and we're being very effective at what we're doing. And then boom, here comes a new platform. How do you handle the idea of new or adjusting to different platforms, as you're unfolding your strategy?
Gotcha. Good question. Well, first thing is to accept that change is the only constant. And with the speed of today's society and internet changing nonstop around the clock, it's just something we have to accept, that the algorithms change often. So one thing we could do is use paid ads, and so supplement your organic content with a paid strategy. And that's key to reclaiming reach when it's limited on the organic side. So this doesn't necessarily mean a large change in your budget. The good news is with Facebook's diversified ads, you can have more opportunities to promote them before, and it doesn't have to break the bank either. I think some people hear ads and they think like TV industry and, oh, I got to spend millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands or thousands even. And that's not true. You can get started with a very a small budget, honestly. And then you just want to spark meaningful interactions. I think we got to put the social in social media. A lot of people want to put their stuff out there, but they don't interact a lot. So that's a downfall. You want to be interacting with the people you're engaging with, even people that haven't engaged with you. You know, go on there and leave a comment like, "Wow, great post," or I really got a lot out of this, something to interact. And then people will come and look at your stuff, and if they're interested, they'll follow you. And then use more videos. I say if a picture says 1,000 words, then a video says 1,000,000. So videos are like really key to growing. You can get so much information out there in just a few seconds compared to just a photo post. So there's a few kind of things we can use to deal with the current change, the constant change.
Sure. Well, I got to tell you, Ray, as I'm looking about this, I'm thinking, okay, I can't do this myself. I don't know that that's even something I even want to tackle. So I suppose one of my options would be to go see if I can find a volunteer or somebody that might be in the industry that would want to, to help my ministry with what I'm doing here. Is there an option that's available through your company, through Prestige Digital Marketing, for helping nonprofits?
Absolutely, yes. So we offer several different services. We'll zoom in on social media. We have other services too. We do website and branding, SEO, but with social media, we have packages that have a range in how deep you want to go. That you give us a direction, some content, and we kind of take it over. And we don't have to do it all at once. We like to start with people where they're at. Some people are at the beginning, some people might have been doing it for a little bit, and we like to start there, not overwhelmed, but we want to get you going on the right track first and get you like in the flow of it. We don't want to overwhelm anything. So yeah, but I mean, we make it really easy to do that and work with people, and people can see the progress. We also measure our results so that you can see what's going on, where your dollars are going, and how it's working. So we give it to you in a nice package that you can see everything that's going on, weekly and monthly updates.
Well, if I'm interested in looking to explore the possibility of having you help me, what would be my first step? What would be the first thing I should do?
Sure. So I would say the first thing is to send us an email. grow@prestigedigitalmarketing.agency, which you'll see underneath my picture here. Send us an email. Say, hey, I saw your video and wanted to reach out and see if we could set up a quick meeting and see if this is something for me. That will be the first step. And then from there, we can take it from there.
That's great. Well, hey, Ray, thank you so much for joining me. You've given us a lot to think about. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure, Dan. Thanks so much for having me.
You bet. If you've got any questions or you'd like to learn more about Prestige Digital Marketing, their contact information, like Ray said, is right below the screen here in front of you. It's also found in the show notes that comes along with this video. So again, thank you, Ray. And thank you for joining me today. Until next time, let's get out there and serve as Christ serves.
This has been a presentation of Partners in Ministry, a podcast of Josiah White's Quakerdale Foundation. To learn more and see the show notes for this and other episodes, visit our website. To stay informed of up and coming broadcasts, subscribe to our e-newsletter. To invest in our mission, donate today.